So I have some ideas. Okay, so I'm starting another broadcast of speaking about women's stuff. Too much information. Desert sham. Is there any shame in the desert? Two S's. One two S's is dessert. One S is is like sham or shame. There's no H. There's only one H, and you're not shaming yourself for being in your vein. So that's so cute. Anyway, all right. I was talking about I purposely stopped my cam so I could discuss with Duncan some women information, and that was that my period will not stop for the second time this year. And the first time was when I was working at PTE. Sorry about repeating this. Commuting 13 hours a week, going to class 8 hours a week, and working 40 plus hours, and my second time job. So I was working all the time. I was eating crap. I was eating food that you get out of a gas station when I pump gas. So that was the first time that in my life my period just wouldn't stop, and it wouldn't stop for about a month. And that was a bit disconcerting. But the day that it really sunk was I had cookies, chips, and what else did I have? Donuts. Yeah, that was my diet that day. So anyway, that kind of makes sense. I was constantly going. I wasn't working out. I wasn't eating right. And my sleeping was catch as catch can, which really was only enhanced by over-the-counter sleeping pills. So now my period won't stop again. So I've got an appointment with the doctor tomorrow. I was asking Duncan about it, and it's possible it could be normal, blah, blah, blah. What I was trying to get to is what I think the stress is this time is that it's about confronting fronting cone neff fronting the possibility of honestly loving someone, and see that as a parallax, as a possibility. I'm not sure, because I feel like I'm in two worlds, even in my own work, even my own reflection on you to communicate to me as I see me to you across time for completion, not time for competition. And while I do rationalize on one hand, I have given love already, therefore I can receive it. All things considered, because no one else wants to cross time, apparently. And we're getting at a couple of things here. Besides the stress, I think there is a stress, even if it's a parallax. My period won't stop. So it seems like if I want to relate with someone, I get to relate in a messy fashion. Shit. But what else? We're getting at a couple of things. One is it may be we're getting at reason as desire, certainly. Reason is desire in life, desire in you, in your life, for life. But also that love is necessary. And what allows me to keep going on and on, the irony of of blood and of period, which equals flow for some reason. When a woman says she's on her period, it does not mean stop. It means go. You know? So, let's see, what else? Yes, the love is necessary, and what allows me to keep going on and on with more opportunities for draftsmanship for me to clothe in my own art and mark and remark is that I'm not apparently carrying on or carrying a tone with anyone. And while we can definitely see the parallax in those people, and let me get a new paper here. Need some new paper. Paper. New people. People. P is marking, P is place. In my anatomical grace, G race. So, when we can see the parallax of people carrying on a tone, okay, a T-1 for competition. The whole conversation in the competitive marketplace is a fork, is a 4-K tooth competition. So let me spell that out for everybody. So, forked tooth, it could be to the he and then to the echo, but 4K is your fork, what you eat. KT is the night. I've determined K. I've determined K. IT. I'm the night. I make it up. I'm my night and my not to the night. KT, night and not, is that right? I think it's both. You want me to check? No, I'm not going to check because then it's going to throw my broadcast off. Happy to do it though. You let me know. TH is honor THC. I needed to look that up. Doesn't THC? I totally have not been aware of this. Isn't that what's in weed, in pot? For me, THC, the TH is your thorn. T is time. H is your hydrogen. And when we think of the crown of thorns as being your own crown of T horns, and HC is honor conscious. Comp, put place hyphen everything hyphen T hyphen. So fork to tooth the honor conscious competition where you can only put everything to hyphen time for competition. So shoot, I got a little off track with what I was my main idea. So what we're discovering, I believe, the tendency is that love is necessary, and we can say, woman to woman, Sharon's only tool to look on you, Rich, to look like a couple, happily married, -D, in competition. And yet she may feel, because she's milked your toes to be something that I think I may desire by your image, by your product. I don't know. I could totally just be making up and projecting my value on you. And let's see. Women to women, I could think, I could phrase, I can say in my own art, in my own time for completion that Sharon's tooled a look on you and as a couple, but you're not getting through. But she could rationalize, like, I've given love, I have given my time and energy diligently and thoughtfully to this person that she's married to, and but it still doesn't cross time. And you have children apparently, and children give you the value of virtue apparently. In time for competition only. I don't care what you talk about. Spiritually, it's not crossing time for completion. Okay, so I perceive the only way that she can pass on her love is to allow you. She can't compel you to tool on her and to by desire. That's been the problem of your relationship since she earned her money and sunk your saint one with hyphens. But we can see now, I hope, that it's been necessary in terms of having a circle of awareness, and in a circle of awareness you have you've got a 360 view, and maybe that's not the right way to say it. You are aware too, TWHO, and you are aware with her that way. That's why you don't talk on her, or your business is separate. Okay, you separated your business so that you can still perceive to have your own vision of interest, which is to bring beauty and love to the world, but the fact is it's not crossing time. And so if there is a restriction on time from Sharon saying, well, it's not fair, you won't, mark on my time, you can't mark on Angela's, that's not wholly accurate or rational, in the sense that Sharon still represents competitive time. If she didn't represent competitive time, she would be doing what I am doing prime. Okay? She would be making the time and defining the time. And what else? Anyway, I had a note here. Maybe I could just get right to it in the video. I wrote some notes down. I have to find them. Little pockets. And that's tomorrow. That's there. Let's see. Yes! Okay, so I have a couple of ideas. Where did I put? A notebook. Sheet. Pictures of bags. And, well, let's see. Maybe I'll put it here and I'll write it out. But I think what we're coming to, this is my note again, it's somewhat repeating. We're seeing that love is necessary. But loving Sharon on her competitive time frame is not necessary. That's why you're not compelled to move by desire for Sharon. So, you can say that you have given love, but you haven't given knit, Knit, way, Wheye, even, evenly, even T, even vent, even D, even vend. And so we're getting at something that love as a product in the marketplace is also necessary. And Sharon only stands in the way if it is her choice for you to equally partake, yet she does not give the value away. If the two of you have got to this position and she does not let you follow through on your desire, separate from hers, you will never get love to come back to you. And you nullify the fact that you have given love because you've only given love to control it and to shackle it, basically. Okay, so I want to spend more time on that because I think I could get more distinct. But it's ironically not fair air again, and it's not fair air to the think and ink. And I get the impression that Sharon is the one that enjoys law and legalities in your life, and I was afraid that it was you, Rich, because like I said, that's not what I want to talk with you about. But if that's the case, that she's using it to nail you down for no reason, okay? And she gets the opportunity to grow up as I keep pursuing my self-prime invocation, and you get to join me as you desire, and no other reason. I wrote a note on the coat. It became somewhat lucid for me. The coat is the coat, the hour, oat, the throat, co-at, the hour road is coat the throat. And the arc in the story, I am marking on you and remarking as my art and a route to it's the arc, ARK, and the ARC that you now get to remark on. You get to throw the oat. You get to remark on it. So, sorry, just kind of all over the place. I'm trying to get the highlights, but that was one of them. Happy to put it down in words. I was reflecting today for the people, and that's in quotation marks, and that does not mean something good to me. It means it's not what it seems. For the people. It's the same as using hyphens, all right? It's a question that hasn't sought honestly in follow-through. For, by, and with a reason, 2 by 2, which includes you. So, no more talking about Christ and God. If you're not the Christ and God, stop making pretenses that you're doing it for Christ and God, okay? Because you're just wanking a presence to get by for no reason except to have someone honest fortify your lie and your dishonesty as a trait, as a tooth, as a straight trait. Hyphenated all over in the place, and jacked off for people that are honest to have to just like be like, fuck. Who do I talk to for all the jacked offs in the universe? Not just this country, all around the world. So, it got me thinking, you know, Michelle in hell, the reason that Avesta took me to court because they placed this they enabled this harassing person. She ran people out of here. Then it was my turn where she's a muckraker. She just stirs shit up and then she calls the police on you all the time. And anyway, her big thing was, you know, for the people. Well, what she wanted is she wanted a parking spot in the covered parking, which was first come, first serve, and I was one of the first people here, so I've got a space. Well, there's also a space for people that are in wheelchairs, and we have a person here that lives in a wheelchair, and Michelle tried to, well, she did run people out of here. Part of that is to angle to get a parking spot, but I had a conversation with her in the art room where she let me know that she was trying to have an anxiety disorder so she could have that handicapped parking spot. And basically, I told her that's not really the way to make friends. And, you know, because when she's trying to have an anxiety disorder, she needs to call people into play to observe her to have an anxiety disorder. And the other thing is that there's someone here in a wheelchair that, can we be honest, that would greatly get by with the accommodation in-house to have that parking spot. They take the elevator, wheel out the door, there's their vehicle. So they could get around and get food or whatever. Doctor's appointments, I'm sure, okay? Versus someone who's like, well, I got this conversation for the people all the time. So Michelle in the art room was trying to manage everything, no different than Richard McGilvery is doing things for the people. One of the things he's doing for the people, I found out through John, his table's here. Apparently there's a table for a window that is placed against the window like mine, and apparently Richard talked to John like, hey, I just moved my table and didn't ask anyone. It looks just like Richard McGilvery's. So John said to him, it's no different, you did it. And Richard told John, oh, there is a difference. Like, whatever. You know, so I'm hearing this from John, like, I can't believe you're splitting made up hairs with this person, and we're parsing them. And let's see, anyway, Richard will always defer to, well, I was saving that table for a man who's an artist who was going to move in here. And when he jacked my computer out of the wall and then I posted it on Facebook, he's aware of my cam because he met me in the hallway right away and he told me two things. First one, if I remember right, was I did that so the guy next to you had more room. Well, then that guy next to me is John, and John came down and talked to me and said, you know, number one, he doesn't like Richard McGilvery knocking on his door so many times. He gave me the conversation Richard McGilvery had with him, and he does not have any issues about the space of our table. I can do the Chinese splits and I can rise all over the place, and it will still not touch his table. Okay. And let's see, what else? The other thing Richard said to me is, we are trying to get me out of here. So I've talked about this before, but I don't think it went up on SoundCloud. That's still trying to upload. What he does with the we and the authority, no different than Michelle, is very predictable. And this whole conversation for the people, I would like to say, I am one of the people. Okay, so when you're talking about you're doing something for the people and you're talking to me, but you're not seeing me and you're using me as a vehicle, as a prop to talk through me, yeah, it's not gonna weigh very well with my ability to tear weight in my regarding all T and tie the I. Not gonna work so well for you. Okay. By design. 2 by 2. Oh, my bad, my bad. So I put my parentheses where I like, my division marks, and all that good stuff. So my note is reflecting on Michelle, and then Richard McGilvery is doing the same thing, the for the people conversation, which somehow eludes the fact that I am present. The ref for equal the people. To the core. Anyway, see or. You can see my or, right? Co, regarding, if you like, if you want to. So, this conversation for the people, it's not about love. It is about stealing from those that love, that would be love. And I'm addressing this asinine compulsion at the very least. And let's see. So I have my notes here. I've written out in my special dialect, but I will follow up on that. That's all I just wanted to. Those are the highlights of today that I spent in my apartment working on the bag, B-A-G, IOU, and thinking of you too.